Welcome Taurus, this is your reading for the month of July 2020, and let's see what do you have for this month. Sorry for not putting the readings for the past 2-3 months, I don't remember exactly, but I was busy with other things. So here I am doing the reading for July. So let's see, you guys Taurus, what do you have for the month of July? Okay. Well, the first 2 weeks of July, there might be a little bit, kind of running around doing things, trying to have a good grip on the reality, the situations, and maybe the so-called future. Some of you, you'll feel like I was robbed. Someone did something to me. Well, we see what is going on in the world with this coronavirus, so we're gonna have to be on top of things. One thing that I have to say, you cannot afford to panic. You cannot afford to be like, okay, I'm stressed, I cannot move. Whatever you see around, the distraction, the panic, the stress, it's up to each of us to be strong mentally. We need a very strong mental state, Only the ones that they will be very focused and determined will get out of this, will come out of this crisis. Well, not necessarily unstained, but at least we can forge forward. And for you guys, the Taurus, I will have to say, whatever you think that was taken away from you, whatever you had to do behind the scenes or closed doors was for, for your own benefit. Now you will never ever, and many of you Tauruses in July, you're going to say, I will never be put in this position again. Not to have what I need, no matter what is going on around the world. And some of you might have to, well, if you're still in lockdown, some of you, or there's some things that they don't allow you to do. Some of you, you will find ways just to do that, to survive, or to move, or to feel like, you know what, I don't like where I was, I need to do something, even though someone might tell you. It can be the government, it can be your spouse, it can be your friends, relatives might tell you, you cannot do this. And many of you Tauruses, you feel like, you know what, I need to move, I need to go somewhere. Where I live now, where I'm doing now, it's not enough, it's not good, it didn't offer me protection. So some of you Tauruses, this month in July, you're going to start thinking, if you didn't have enough time to think in 2 months of lockdown. And I'm sure many of you, you thought about this. What can you do that you can provide this as a skill, as a talent, as a work, and it's required, and it's a demand, even in crisis? Some of you, you're going to have to move to some new place, a new location, or maybe you get a new job. Some of you, you're going to get an offer, a job somewhere else. That means you have to leave everything behind and move. Some of you, you just move because it's just too, not necessarily dangerous, but stressful. And the first 2 weeks of July, some of you Tauruses, you're going to start thinking of this, if you didn't start thinking already some time ago. But be aware, some of you Tauruses, how you deal with authority people. And that means can be your, let's say, if you look at your parents being an authority, your boss, someone that has more power and a power to decide and give you some either penalty or taking something away from you. This month in July, be aware how you communicate, how you talk, what you say, what you do, that might be considered against authority people. Just be aware of that. But some of you, you're going to look over the world, maybe more outside of your environment where you live. You're going to say, you know what, I need to do something more, and to do that I need to move, I need to leave something behind in order for you to achieve that. And especially if some of you let's say in relationships, when it comes for love, maybe you couldn't see your partner for some time. But now, some of you are going to say, now is the time to move, or to either you move together with this person, or you're going to travel to see this person, your partner, the love interest that you have. But when it comes for work, you're going to be like, I need to do something. Because many of you, you're feeling the pinch. Okay, the government will give some money, will help, but for how long? So now, many of you Tauruses, you're going to find ways to, ingenious way to build your skills, build your work, finding jobs. But you need to do that. You need to put the effort. And many of you, you're still, it's like, no, the companies are not opened. Many businesses are still closed. Many businesses don't hire. Well, many of you, you're going to find jobs, but you need to put yourself out there. Yeah. When it comes for health, and that's why I said in the beginning, this is the time that many of you need to have a very a strong mental state. To check with your emotions, not to give in into emotions, not to give in into fear or reaction. You need to be very careful, some of you in July. How do you react when you hear you watch some news, or someone is saying something to you? It's going to be very easy to have a little bit more butting heads at your workspace, where you work with people. So be aware how you talk, because July, astrologically speaking, it's tense. And by the end of 3rd, 4th week of July, something might just boom. So just stay away from danger. And if you know that you cannot reason with the person, you cannot have a nice conversation, civilized one, debating the ideas, principles, whatever, and you know the other person will just go bananas, maybe it's not the time to have that conversation with that person, especially in your workspace. Because if your opinion is not the same with the employer, you might get fired. So, well, be aware how you communicate, And especially if you travel, there might be many encounters with maybe law enforcement, maybe some lawyers, just if you travel for legal matters, if you go place to place, just make sure that you're safe and you are aware of your surroundings. Do what is best and legal in a way, like don't get a traffic ticket or something like that, because it's very possible that some of you might get a ticket. But this month is very important for you Taurus, is to have a good grip on your mental state and emotional state. And then you will see where you're supposed to go, what you're supposed to do. If you give into, let's talk about, even politics, you're going to lose time, you're going to get angry, something might be taken away from you, because people feel like, just because you have a different opinion, I'm going to punish you, I'm going to do something that I'm going to take something away from you. So July, no. This month, sit it out. Just don't get into arguments with people, especially at your workplace. But in general, for you Taurus, you can override this tense energy if you keep your cool, if you don't panic. It's so important not to panic, at least until Saturn moves into back. Well, he's gonna go into Capricorn soon, and he's retrograde. But when Saturn moves into Aquarius for good in December, for the next 2 years, until December, when he moves back into Aquarius for good, try to stay away from, difficult discussions. That's very important for some of you Tauruses. Okay, guys, well, this is it for your reading. I hope you enjoy. Well, I hope I will be next month in August to do the reading. If not, well, I'm sorry, but my life is really, really busy. So, well, take care and stay safe.